Okay, everybody. So I have Dan Rowe here from Rowe Reptiles. He's going to be talking to us about all the animals that he keeps. He keeps some really good stuff. Monitor lizards, mostly stuff that requires permits in Massachusetts.
All right, yeah. Thanks, sir. First off, Dan Rowe. I got my son Ibrahim and two of my helpers here, Hannah and Kira, that are going to help me today. When I got asked to come in and talk about monitors, I was a little nervous. I was excited, but I was nervous, right? Normally I go to a birthday party, or you have friends that don't know about reptiles come over, and you get asked questions like, does it eat? Does it poop? Those kind of hard questions for kids that aren't used to it. But here I'm presenting in front of mostly a group of peers or people that know more about these animals than I'm used to. And I know from past meetings I'm usually in the back and with my son, and he's saying, that's wrong, that's not right, we've got one that's bigger than that, all those type of things, right? And so whenever I get to the hard topics, I'm just going to ask you guys. And that way, if you're wrong, then great, I can correct you. If you're right, then that's great too. And then I don't look so bad, right? So that's how we'll play it out, okay? Sounds good? Great. So like you said, we keep a large number of different types of monitor species. We also have geckos and snakes and stuff like that. But today we're talking about Varanus, which is monitors, or it comes from the word, Arabic word meaning essentially lizard beast or dragon. Which is kind of cool. And when you think about that, you could think about what size lizards you got. But I'm going to start off with this guy today. This one is probably one that you've seen regularly. It's pretty common, and it's kind of the first monitor that I had. Yeah, so we'll start with this one. All right. So, the one that got me into lizards, allowed me to kind of learn a lot about them, and actually provided me the means to, have the facility that I have today, and kind of be here presenting in front of you, is actually this one. So this is the one you all came to see, right? Probably not. A lot of people, you go to, we went to, I think, Joe's presentation 2 meetings ago. We went to the Roger Williams a couple weeks ago, and you hear a lot about people that, went to biology school, and they went to be a vet, or they kind of went to being a zookeeper. And there's only so many of those types of jobs, right? And those jobs I highly value their dedication, and their kind of putting their life, dedicating it to caring for these animals. Not everybody can do that, right? And not everybody can support their family, have the means to kind of do that, right? So I went to school for biology, but I also minored in computers. And I got out school, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to look for a job in biology. And essentially it was either looking at petri dishes through a microscope all day, or if I wanted to be the reptile guy at the local zoo, it would be mainly scooping elephant poop and doing other things, and then playing with that one snake they might have. So I ended up going the computer route, which allowed me to get a good job, provide for the little ones, and then eventually kind of bring the hobby home, build out a facility, and care for the animals that we have. So when you're thinking about, hey, the kid that asked you, or if you're one of the individuals that are really interested in reptiles, a lot of the people here keep a significant number of animals, and not all of them are, the zookeeper or the full-time animal activist or whatever. They've got a job like you and me, and they're kind of doing their normal job so they can support their passion. All right, so enough about computers, enough about monitors. Put this one away. So, a couple of weeks ago, we had the great opportunity to go to Roger Williams. And we were able to see their new female Komodo dragon. A lot of people were excited, then we got there, and they're like, no, you can't touch it. And we're all like, wait a minute, what kind of animal presentation is this? You can't touch it. We got to see it feed, which is pretty cool. But I pulled a couple strings, I asked around, and I was able to finally talk to the boss, and was able to bring one here today. That you can kind of touch and feel. But I did promise I need to bring it back in the way that I got it, so be delicate when we pass it around, all right? All right, and I'm actually gonna let the boss carry this one around because it is on loan. Yeah, you got that one? All right, pass that around. All right, so you know, Komodo dragons are pretty rare, pretty cool to see at the Roger Williams Park Zoo. I highly recommend you going there. But if you wanted to touch one, here's your opportunity. A little bit more than scales, but a little less lifelike. So, to be honest, you guys came here to see animals and not, you know, toys and computers and stuff like that. So I'm gonna, you know, we'll stop here and we'll put our serious hat on. And you know, kind of take this to the next level, all right? And like Kurt said earlier, with the Herp Societies, a lot of their help and a lot of kind of paperwork, every animal that you see here today is documented, captive, bred, and born, and housed at our facility in Northborough, Massachusetts. All right, I'm gonna take this off and we'll get serious now. All right, move over here. The first one we're going to do is probably one of the feistiest guys that we've got. Actually, hold on. When you think about a monitor lizard, what do you think? Big, okay? Big. You think Komodo dragon, you might think water monitor, crocodile, like all those things. And that's true, right? But they come in all shapes and sizes, and so we'll show you one of our feistiest ones, and we'll let the bravest of the bunch take care of that one, right? All right, so as far as monitors go, there's the big monitors, like water monitors, crocodiles, but then there's a large variety of dwarf monitors. And so here we have Varanus gilleni. Gilleni is usually what I call them. Some people call them, their common name is a pygmy mulga monitor. So Ibrahim's going to walk them around. These guys, that's full size for one of these, so they're not like you're going to overgrow your house, and actually make really good pets if you're into monitors as pets. If you're in Massachusetts, get a permit first. Because they have a much smaller footprint than most other monitors, right? They're arboreal, so they like to climb up in the trees, eat the insects, and so when I say aggressive, like if you're a half-inch cricket, man, you're doomed, right? These guys are fast, they're coming down from the trees, running around, but for us, they're fine, right? No big deal. These guys, in Massachusetts, the one that you can have that's also a dwarf monitor is the Aki, right? The spiny tail. Those guys are great, but they take a lot of room because they're more terrestrial than these guys, and you need like 4 foot, 8 foot, depending on how much space you have available. It's better to have a bigger cage for them, and so it takes a lot of space. These guys are arboreal, nice small footprint, it's good to go. The next one I'm going to have Kira walk around with. When we're talking about arboreal and kind of smaller sized monitors, we'll talk about the green tree next. This guy is super fast and doesn't like being held, so we'll walk this one around. Tree monitors like essentially come in the variety of Skittles, right? So you got the greenish, bluish there, you've got yellow, you've got blue, you've got black, and then we are lucky enough to have actually gold spotted, which if they had enough information on them would probably be considered critically endangered, if not endangered, but they're essentially said need more information in the index, and so until that research has been done, they're not listed. And we have a breeding pair. There's only 5 or 6 others of the Varanus boemi, the gold spotted, in the country that we're aware of, and we hope that ours mate as well as the other ones to kind of continue these in captivity so that they're not taking them out of the wild. All right. We'll give that one a minute to walk around. So, monitors come from, where do they come from? They come from Asia, Africa, Australia, all of that area. And they kind of fill the niche of big lizards there, right? And if you've ever come to, a lot of these meetings, right, you might know another big lizard that, you want to grab some gloves for this one?
Yeah. Is he in there?
Yeah, he's in there.
He doesn't fly out the table.
he's going to take this one out because he doesn't like being held, unlike some other ones. But you think about big lizards, you think monitors, Komodo dragons, crocodile monitors, stuff like that. And they're all coming from, you know, Indonesia, Asia, Africa, and this guy does not, right? But he fills that niche, and once we take him out, it'll be a semi-surprise, semi-not. Hopefully you guys can tell me what it is. That's fine. Alright, so I heard it. What is it? Tegu. Alright, so what's wrong with him being at this facility? Or this meeting?
He's not a monitor.
He's not a monitor. Where does he come from?
He comes from South America.
South America. So in South America, tegus fill that niche, right? So there are no monitors in South America that are native. There are obviously some invasive, but this is a native species to South America that fills the niche of big lizards, right? When they're little, they've got the green head and they blend in with the grass so they don't get eaten, because when they're small, they're essentially food for everything. And then once they get bigger, they are now kind of like raccoons, where they're just flopping around, eating everybody's trash and kind of stealing picnic baskets, that kind of stuff. This one is an albino, purple tiger albino to be exact, and it's hard to tell when she's carrying around with him, but he's actually hard of seeing. One of the, oftentimes, kind of albinism and other kind of genes that people breed for to get, you know, pretty colors or pretty patterns, etc., end up being potentially degrading the natural abilities of the animal. So he's a display animal. We're not going to use him for breeding, although they are very beautiful, right? And he's actually being way better than usual. Usually he's walking around with his mouth open, and so far no blood, so that's good. All right. Any questions before we do one last animal? No? Perfect? All right. This is easy. Also, I think I had too much caffeine, so I'm like talking real fast. So stop me if I'm talking too fast, or if you have any questions. Oh, she did. Yeah, pause. This last one, there's three options. One is he went to the bathroom on the way here, and he's going to be filthy, and I'm not going to take him out because that'd be gross. The other one is he's not happy with me when I go to take him out, and then we're not going to take him out either. Third one is if he's happy and great, then we'll put him on the table, and we'll see how long that lasts. I don't know how long he's going to sit still for us. But we'll see how that goes, okay? I did have to get a bigger tub on the way here because he barely fits in a small tub that he used to be huge for him. They grow pretty quick. Let's move this out of the way. Alright. And he's not mean or aggressive or any of those kind of things, but he's heavy and he's got sharp claws. So, and she hasn't clipped his nails in a while. So, I'm just going to prevent the bloodshed by putting my sleeves on. It gives me the ability to use my hands, but it gives him something to hold on to versus my skin, right? And then I did bring wire cutters because it'd be more dramatic to open this. Also, you know, the Boy Scout in me is also the prepared person. Is you know, you got to have your Band-Aids, your paper towels, and your Listerine. Not because I have bad breath, but monitors, they don't like to let go when they bite you, so you need something to kind of have them open their mouth. This is all dramatic, it's not really a problem.
Yeah, that's not the way Keith did it.
I know. There's an inside joke here where somebody recently was opening...
Yeah, dude. Stay just like that. I guess. Perfect.
Opening a similar tub like this with a pocket knife and my pocket knife. The amount of force that you need to take to like open a zip tie when you're pressing on it is more force than you have to slow down and not hit yourself if you're in the way. And he got himself. Pretty good. Yeah. It was no good. It was also, luckily this is a white shirt and blood comes out pretty easy, so that was okay. Alright, so let's see how Sunny is. All right. If he gets too wiggly up here, we might put him on the floor, depending on. Let's see. Let's see how he looks.
We'd smell it if you cooked it.
You would hope.
Yeah, mostly.
You look grumpy. All right, he's fine. We'll take him out. Hey, buddy. All right. I don't know how long he's gonna sit still on the table, but we'll try. All right. So this is Sunny. Sunny is a male sulfur water monitor. He, from Tim Healy, if you're familiar with Tim from the UK, he was imported with a batch of other monitors, captive-born monitors. He spent some time at Nerd, if you're familiar with Kevin and those guys. They do a lot of good work socializing them, so we got a nice friendly baby. And then we worked hard with him on a regular basis to keep him as friendly as he is. We measured him yesterday. He was like 5'5", 5'6". And he's only about 2 years old, and he's got a lot of growing to do, both lengthwise as well as kind of thickness and girth. Probably in the next year or so, he'll kind of top out lengthwise, and then he starts getting thicker. We feed him about twice a week. He'll eat fish, rats, chicken. Thanksgiving time, we get all the extra giblets and hearts and that kind of stuff. And one interesting trait of the sulfur is you'll notice the blue tongue he's got there. You got me?
I got him.
Watch your skin. Okay. All right, you want to put him on the floor for a minute? Okay. All right. That's Sunny. When you're cleaning out his cage, you gotta be careful because you're squeegeeing out his tub, and there's a shelf above that. He likes to use your back as a ramp down into the fresh water, which is great. He's just curious with all the new smells and sounds here today. Salvatore, which is kind of a very broad group. They've dumped a lot of lizards that look like water monitors in there with a lot of subspecies, so it'll be interesting over the next couple of years to see how that gets split out. But for now, they're all within water monitor. At home, we've got yellowhead water monitors, which are Varanus coming eye, one that they did split out, and those don't get nearly as big, so we've got a male at home that's probably topped out size-wise. It's about the same size as Sunny, but Sunny's got a lot more growing to do. All right, I think that's all I've got today animal-wise. Hopefully it was enjoyable, and no, I didn't get any stats or information wrong, so that's good, or at least you didn't tell me. If you want to come up in a little bit, you can play with Sunny, your pet Sunny. Just don't stomp your feet a lot around him, and that'll be good. All right, thank you.